Hello everyone, and welcome back to yet another video from Eddie's World of Figures. Today, we'll be reviewing a very special figure from the Gundam universe. And this specific universe is actually from Mobile Fighter G Gundam. This specific Gundam from that universe is the one and only God Gundam. Now, this specific figure is Bandai's take on the figure through the Metal Build series. And what does the Metal Build entail? Oh, I will get into that during this initial review. This is going to be a really good review. A lot of stuff that came with this figure that I want to go over with you guys, and especially the price point. I will definitely discuss the price point. This guy was not cheap, but just from what you can see here in the beginning here, will I say he's worth it? You have to just stay tuned. But enough of the intro. Let's get on with this review. All right, guys. I had to scoot my camera back yet again because, as you can see in the shot, this is a pretty big box here. You know, as you can see already from the reflections, they did not cut any corners when it came to advertising this figure that's inside of there. Now, let's go ahead and start what you see in front. So you have the line that this figure is from, this being told the Metal Build. Again, I'll get into detail what this actually means for this figure line. So at the top, you have the figure itself and the burning pose, and again, on the pretty much the main beef potatoes right here. This is the burning Gundam initiating his burning hand here. You have the pretty much the Gundam universe this is from. It's in Japanese, but it does read Mobile Fighter G Gundam. This particular figure was manufactured in Japan. Manufactured. Let me correct myself there. Sorry. Designed by Tomashi Nations in Japan, and this one was made in the Chinese factory here. On the right, you have the P Bandai logo here. This was a P Bandai exclusive. You have the Tomashi Nations quality seal sticker here, the Tomashi Nations logo, and the Bandai logo here on the far right. And also at the very top here, right there, didn't mean to bump the camera there, but right here, you have the Bandai logo at the top there. I'm going to turn this to the side real quick. So as you can see, the picture is flowing to the side of the box, so it continues on. So you have the pretty much the silhouette of the burning effect over here, so you can see it a lot better. You have this Gundam's name. So I do want to clarify here. This does have the model number of the Gundam in the show, and this is actually the burning Gundam and the God Gundam. So you're actually getting two Gundams in one, and I'll show what's happening with that too. Because I'm glad they did that, because that's kind of what happened in the show. But on to the back, you have some really nice action poses here. Let me scoot the box back so you guys can see a lot better here. Line this up. Yeah, you got these really nice action poses here showing you what this figure can do. You guys take that in for a second because it looks so cool. You even have like the silhouette of the Gundam in the back, the burden effect again. Like, this is a beautiful box. This is, I would say, hands down, this is probably, and I'm not really, I do keep my boxes. I don't throw these away, but I will hands down say, and this is my opinion, this is the best box that I have in my collection so far for the design wise. So at the bottom, you have all the legal writing and stuff like that, the warnings. It's all in Japanese. Like, this Japanese import, I had to get this imported in. It was quite a bit, especially with the tariffs. The middle build right here again. I can't read any of that. My apologies, but you can still get the gist of what's going on just by the pictures, just by the action poses of the figure. Let's go on and turn this again to the side. And you have this really nice picture of Burning Gundam, aka God Gundam, with his crossed arms here, just ready to go. This kind of what this Gundam was back in the day. Well, still is. This series, just a little quick, little thing here. So Mobile Fighter G Gundam was it was more of like if let's say like you take the Gundam universe, you kind of shrink them down just a little bit, and they're putting hands on each other. These particular Gundams where the pilots were actually like um, everything that they did inside of the Gundam. Like say they throw a punch, the Gundam's throwing a punch. So it's like they were integrated into the Gundam, so they can throw kicks and things like that. Like it was more of a martial arts version of Gundam, and I really fell in love with this show because of it was like you take Gundam, Dragon Ball, there you go, freaking amazing. But yeah, I just want to throw that in there for a little bit in case nobody's familiar with this particular Gundam series because there's so many Gundam series out there. I'm not even going to get into that, but ooh, almost forgot. Let me show the bottom of the box here. Some more beautiful art at the bottom, showing you the back of the Gundam with his wings in his God Gundam form here. You see the wings there? I'll get into that too. But yeah, this box is so beautiful. It even has the gold um lettering here. Like it actually like metallic gold. It has like a little bit of shimmer to it. But all right, that's enough of me fanning over this box right now because I'm just really excited to get into the nitty gritty of what's inside this box. So let's get on with that. All right, now that we're moving on to the accessories, because there is quite a lot here to talk about that comes to this, and I'll get to the price point towards the end, but I just want to get on with the nitty gritty. Just really show you guys what this Gundam comes with, especially accessories. So as soon as you pull this guy out of the package, you're met with the burning effect itself. That's the first package you're met with in this thing. So as you guys can see here, it's a really nice detailed clear plastic that has the color like put into it, so it actually radiates out and it gets darker orange, just like it did in the show. So I'm going to slowly bring this back. So I'll move my shot up so you guys can see. And I do like how there is like engraved lines into it to give it more depth to it. And to think of these lines to best describe to you, would be like a vinyl record from back in the day. That's pretty much what's going on here. And I'll take this out and then show you guys more in depth, what these accessories entail more later in the video. Sorry about that. But yeah, let's move on to the next clamshell. So in the middle, you have the Burning Gundam wings here, and the what they call, I guess, the pilot fighter here, or like the little plane that they get into when they need to escape the suit about to explode or something. A little bit on here on the right, you have the they're actually an extra set of antennas. I'm glad they include this because these antennas here, especially with me, I haven't been handling this guy too much since I got him because I just got him. I believe it was last week, a week and a half ago. It hasn't been that long at all. Hasn't been that long at all. This guy literally just got released in October. Um, these tend to break if you don't handle it correctly. Sometimes, hopefully it doesn't happen to you where you have him posted up somewhere and he falls over and the antennas go. There's an extra one in there. I'm glad they included that. That's very nice. Back on the left, you have the saber effects. This is like for the axe effect that are in here. Well, you can make. I'll demonstrate what that is too later on. But you have the in the center nunchuck attachments that can actually form into other attachments, and you have the actual God Gundam wings. So in the show, Domon hope I'm saying his name right because it's been a long time since I've seen the show. I think it's Domon or I think it's Domon. We'll go with Domon. You guys correct me in the comments if I'm pronouncing this correctly or not. My apologies in advance. But in the show, he was initially given the Burning Gundam, which you guys see here. The color scheme is the exact same, no real difference. And then later on, no, sorry, let me go back. This man has had 3 iterations of this freaking suit. So the first one was the Shining Gundam, which was just like this one, except the colors were like a little bit inverted, if I remember correctly. Um, I think the shoulders up here were blue instead of the red, I believe, but don't remember exactly. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've seen the show. He destroyed that one, got blown up, and then they gave him another version, which was what you guys see here, the Burning Gundam, and then he got a third upgraded version, which was it looks exactly the same as the Burning Gundam here, except the only difference was the wings and the different attacks that the thing can do. So a little more advanced, but the look was still the same. Just want to touch on that real quick. You know, guys can like it says Burning Gundam on it. Where's this Gundam coming from, or Gundam Second? That's where that's coming from. But at the bottom you have your beam sabers here and the hilts that go to it. You have 2 of them, so you can actually use both of them if you like. And we have, let's see, let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 additional pairs of hands. You have the burning hand, and then you have the even more powerful. I forgot the name of the green one because it was done with the burning, not burning, the God Gundam, the upgraded version. Hence why it's green. It's even more powerful. But that's really cool that they implement, like they pretty much gave you that in this accessories. Again, this is a lot of accessories for this freaking Gundam. All right, moving on to the final clamshell. So on the left here, this is what the Gundam comes into. They actually were nice about his packaging and actually wrapped him in this really nice, I don't know what type of fabric. It's like this really nice plastic covering so that the paint doesn't get all scratched up during shipment and things like that. This is very detailed Gundam here. Comes with a nice base, and the stand attachments, things like that. And I was a little lost at first. I was like, where's the pieces for the freaking burning effect? They put it in the back of the package. So if you get yours and you're like, where is the clear pieces for the burning effect that I see on the box? Just turn the clamshell around, and you will see it in the back here. I was a little confused. I was like, dang, I just got this thing. Did I lose it? I was like, I don't think I lost it, but yeah, I was freaking out a little bit. And I was like, oh no, where is it? It's in the back. All right, guys, it's enough of the accessories. And now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move into pretty much the details of this figure here. Be right back. Okay, so I've got this guy standing in like pretty much like a neutral pose here. What I want to go over is the details of this figure. And one thing I want to touch on before we get too in depth is the paint. One thing I will say, and I only have 2 metal build figures from the Gundam line so far. The paint application on this guy is so amazing. Like this, what you're paying for, the professional level of paint application. Like just like it says on the box, it's a metal build. It looks just like a real Gundam. Like you were taking this out of the show. Um, Looks like a real robot, I will say, because of the details and just the way this thing has been designed. The way the paint is, it just all looks metallic, like it's actual metal. And I do want to touch on that too. Even though it looks like actual metal, this whole structure of Gundam is metal. Now, of course, it does have plastic integrated into it, like the claw effect here. This is plastic. This is plastic right here as well. This is plastic. So not everything is metal, but um, the the legs here, this point here, this is metal. This is metal. Pretty much like the joints and things like that. Pretty much the entire inner frame of this Gundam, even like the waist up here, the chest. It's all metal. It's all die cast metal. Let me improvise. Let me elaborate on that too. This is all die cast metal with a bit of plastic integrated in it too. But this is what you're paying for. And I do want to touch on the price right now. So this guy's a healthy price. Like this isn't something somebody needs to get who um I will say, like, if you're harsh on your figures, like at the end of the day, it's your money, you do what you want with it. But this isn't something that you need to purchase if you're scarce on money and you want to do a bunch of crazy stuff with it, like, send them flying or a bunch of other crazy stuff. This really isn't something you want to do with this. Although I'm sure it can handle it because of the quality that's gone into this. But yeah, I paid $465 for this. Yes, I pre-ordered it. I got it imported over. This is $465 after taxes, um, shipment fees, everything. It was pretty much flat right there. He is going for even more now that he's been released. You still can find them hovering around 430 is plus. But if you are interested in trying to get this guy, I would, just like I do any of my reviews, try to stick in your budget and try to get him as best, well, close to your price range as you can. And wait on I say details, wait on certain sales, things like that, and just do what you can to get if you really want this figure. But anyhow, enough of that little ramble there. Kind of went off topic. I want to get back into the details. So again, the paint. Let me bring this back up. The paint applications is really clean. Like the attention to detail is absurdly good. And even there's so many gimmicks with this guy, it's insane. So I'm going to look this up right here and show you guys. They even incorporate I forgot what this symbol is. I should have looked this up before I even started the video, but that symbol that just pretty much just projects out whenever he's starting his initial burning Gundam phase. Um, or burning finger, sorry, or burning hand a phase. It's there. Isn't that so cool that they didn't have to do that, but they did it. That's such a cool touch. Like in here, this is die cast metal too, and you can close this back up pretty easy. The vents die cast. All this is die cast. Doesn't move, but it's a cool detail there. Um, they have the face, as you can see here. The head unit is really nicely painted as well. There's no bleeding. There's no paint mismatch. None of that. Turn around. You guys can see even on the shoulders. I cannot say freaking words today. All this nice detailed paint. Like, look at that. There's a nice red paint that has like a. Let's see if my camera can pick it up. Look at that. Look at that nice metallic flake that's in there. Like, and then you see like the glossy red that's at the bottom right underneath it, and then you have this metallic, very, very nice metallic paint that's at the very top that has like the little tiny flakes in it. And the way it hits the light, so amazing. And even like the gold accent to let you know, well, in the show, like that's a little bit of power there. That's so cool. So cool. But even in the back, like, this is really nice because the metal build line is always, oh, my camera. But anyhow, the metal build line is known to be very extreme when it comes to details. Like, this is like the Gundam, like I said, came directly out of the show. Even like the fins, I guess the waist fins, I don't know what they call this in the show. But like everything is very detailed. I like that. Let you get a better look there. Even on the feet, everything's really nice and clean. And I'll get into articulation. Um, I do have a few gripes there. I'm going to be honest about this. You know, even though this is a gorgeous figure with the paint, as you guys can see, like it is, like if you thinking like, oh, they might have missed a spot. Nope. Even like the hip joints, stuff like that, you can see a real nice die cast metal, how it's been polished. It's real nice and shiny. It isn't really. I don't feel like they missed a beat on this. They're really nice. They even have the Gundam's model number there. Like, let's say unit number, what unit this is. Just amazing. But fix the camera again. You just fix that. But all right, yeah. So enough on the detail. I did want to touch on it a little bit and like just pretty much pull them to you, the camera, and let you guys see for yourselves. You know, if you're not able to get this guy, but you can see what you're getting yourselves into. They did not cut any corners when it came to the paint and details. Like this is, to me, besides like model kits and things like that, somebody taking this on their own hands and painting it themselves. This is the best, in my opinion. This is my opinion. This is the best detailed out of the box, and to this degree, like this is a full-on metal Gundam here figure. This has got to be the best detailed figure for the God Gundam that we have so far. And they might even, it might even do something different, or they improve on it, or they do like a perfect grade or something like that. But as this is, or even like a metal structure like they did with the RX-93 New Gundam years ago. They did have a reissue with that one. I think it was like a year or two ago. But to me, right now, this is the best of the best. Right now, best of the best. But all right, we're gonna now move on to articulation. So I really want to touch on that. Again, I have a few gripes on that, but let's move on to that. All right, guys. So for the articulation for this guy, let's see how far he can get his arms up all the way. And he can almost do a full T-pose here. Let's see here. Oh, no, he can actually do a full T-pose because you can actually, moving back in the camera here, but you can actually lift up the shoulder armor here. Be careful when you're lifting it up, though, because this does have its own set of joints here. Be careful to not hit the tendons up here, because those are quite big and long, so to be careful. But coming all the way up, he does do a full T-pose here. Let me scoot him back so you guys can see. And you see here the joint system that they have. It's kind of a mix of metal and plastic. Let me bring them in just a tad so you guys can see a little bit better. But look at the attention to detail and how structurally sound this figure is. You guys seeing that? Isn't that awesome? All right. So he does have some good butterfly joints here, so he can bring his arms in that far. Let me show you the joints here in the system right here. So I've noticed my butterfly doesn't, it's pretty tight. That's one thing about the metal build figures, they're pretty tight. So you might have to apply just a tad bit of oil or just slowly work it in. Do be careful. Again, there are plastic pieces mixed in with the metal, as you see here, right there. But mine, it's a bit weird right now because my arm movement on this side swivels in and out like it's supposed to, nice and smooth. But the left arm, like I can't swivel it out that easy. And this one here is just stuck. As you guys can see, like there's almost no movement right here. Like I can barely get that to move without putting stress. Like mine's just tight. Like it's not gonna be like this for every copy, but it's just mine. And I'll work on that later. Another point of articulation is whenever you're moving the arms up, you can actually move up the I guess you would say like the shoulder straps, like the section up here. They actually have a like where it can articulate up, give yourself more range of motion. Put that back down. And you can see here how it's on a bit of a hinge. Ease this guy, and it's stiff, so you guys see me fighting a little bit. It's quite stiff. The metal build figures are pretty freaking tough to work. Pretty tough in the beginning when you get them on the package. There we go. Sorry, like all this articulates too. So we're gonna work from the top and then work our way down. So the arms, pretty much like the bicep area, does do a full 360 rotation around. You guys can see. Doing my best here with the camera. Same thing with the left arm. You can do a full 360 rotation. And another little extra tidbit too is the forearm piece here. You see like this little, there's a cut here. That actually swivels to a 360 as well to give yourself more range whenever you're moving the arm piece in different poses and things like that. So I'm glad that I incorporated that in there. It's not one solid forearm piece. Same thing for the right arm. Full 360. I'll show you guys here. There you go. Same thing with the hand. And I'll show that off too. It's on a ball peg. Take that off and show you guys. And again, be careful. A lot of times when you get this stuff, it's pretty tight. So you gotta ease it off. Here we go. Just a little peg there, and you can swap out the hands that way, and I'll demonstrate that a little later. And then ease it back on. Do be careful when you're pushing the hand on, not to apply too much pressure in the wrong way when you snap the peg. Just ease it on straight. I've almost broken my own stuff that way when I first started collecting. But moving on a little bit further downwards, you actually can move the little claw effects. Like this actually moves up. Let me correct the camera here. Yeah, this actually moves up, articulates up. That's pretty cool. The fingers, now they're single jointed, but you get a little bit of range here. Like you can articulate that. And another extra thing, the thumb piece does move too. You can actually lift this up and then move it downwards. And that is to replicate his burning hand attack. Glad they incorporated that too, because that's pretty much the main gist of this character. And of course, this articulates up. So when you're doing the attack, this moves up. And again, this shows off that really nice jewel that's been very greatly detailed in there. I'm not sure what they call this. I guess you can say like the little waist skirt guard piece. I'm sure there's a proper name for this. This articulates too. There we go. I'm a camera focus. So it can come up all the way that far, each side. And the bottom blue piece is its own separate piece as well. So it can move freely as well. And it's on a whole little rotating ball joint, singular ball joint here. You guys can see how you can rotate it all the way. And there's a little bit of plastic design here. A little bit of detail there. I'm glad they did that as well. It's all, again, nicely painted. This all moves. Let's see here in the waist. Now, the articulation, I say articulation, but looking up, he can look up that far. Let me close this back up. Let's see his ab crunch inwards. He can bend in that far, which is actually pretty good. I'm trying to be careful with the antennas here. Let's see here. That back down. And he does have a little bit of swivel left and right. Let me show you guys here. It's not much, but it is something. And mine's, again, pretty tight. So I'm trying to be careful with this as well. So a little bit left. A little bit right. Not much at all. Another detail, and I forgot to mention this. Let me back this guy up. Is, let's say like you're pushing the arm upwards. They've incorporated where the front piece of the shoulder guard articulates upwards. You can actually move that. Put that back in the camera so you guys can see. Yeah, that actually articulates up right here on each side, so that you have more range of motion whenever you're moving him upwards. Let's say like you're just trying to get him in a certain pose, certain look. And I am glad that they included that detail as well. Overall, there's a lot of care that went into this Gundam. Like, this is like a martial arts Gundam, so you're gonna want him to be able to move around pretty good. Okay, so on the side here, you guys are noticing there's I don't have specific names for what these parts are, and I do apologize. But his little saber holders here, we'll just call them that. These articulate as well. You can move these around. They come up and down. Let's say if he's dashing forward, you can move them in whichever's away. It's on a nice little hinge system here. You guys see in the waist. Bring that in. And it's metal too. It's die-cast metal. They didn't have to do this, but they did. That's so cool. Okay, so the legs, I'm gonna lift this up so you guys can see. There's the leg joints here in the waist. It's all die-cast metal, you guys can see. Let's see how far he comes out. Going all the way. Oh, I heard a little crunch there. Let me not go in too hard. Looks like he goes in. He might come out farther. My hinge system is a little tight, so I'm not trying to break this guy. He's freaking expensive. So I'm gonna say safely he can go that far. There you go. So I'm gonna ease that back in. This hinge system is freaking tight. Now his leg, look at that range. His leg can go all the way up that far, which is really good in my opinion. And you can just simply move little skirt piece in the front out the way, give yourself more range. That foot up there. He does have some really good knee movability. Goes in that far. Pretty much do a full knee kick. The knee kick, or pretty much knee attack. Ease that back in carefully. Same thing on the left leg. Well, it's the right leg. My apologies. Right leg. There you go. I'm not trying to push this up too far. Let's see how far he goes back. Same thing on the back. This is all. You can move this up ever so slightly. It's all on a joint system, kind of like a little ball joint system. So if I need to move the back, I guess the skirt piece out the way, have his leg come back that far, like it's about to do a good soccer kick. And come back up. Same thing on the right leg here. That far back. The knee, again, goes in that far. Let's see, get some more right. Yep, it goes in that far. I don't want to push any further. And you can still see the detail of the die-cast frame that's inside of here. Ease that in. And there is a bit of swivel on the ball socket here inside of there. I do like the way they did the technology there. Look at there. So he does have a bit of a swivel, so he can rotate his leg inwards this far and outwards that far. Same thing with this leg. And inwards that far. Now for his feet. Now his ankle guard, it is on its own little ball joint as well. You can move this out freely. Same thing on the right leg. Ball joint is, let me show you guys a little more carefully. Sorry about this. You can see right there, there's a single little ball joint system in there. And it's just able to just move on its own. You can actually rotate it around if you like. Give yourself more foot range. So the foot, now it's pretty good. The foot, just like my other metal build, and I'll do a review on it as well. The foot comes in this far and that far out. The toe does have a little bit of toe swivel. It only comes in that far. Going down, it stops itself. Same thing on the left leg. Now, I could be wrong. I'm not seeing any side-to-side swivel. And let's see. And I don't want to push this thing. And I even read the instructions. It didn't say anything about having any left or right swivel, just up and down. And even the up and down is not what you think. Like the joint system itself, as you guys can see, like it's just kind of like sectioned out to where it moves. Like it's all connected like to here. So it's not what you think, like you would like a normal action figure. Stand them back up straight. Okay. Yeah, the range of motion for this figure, let me show you the back, it's pretty decent for how they built this. Can't complain at all. Now, over time, you know, this will get worked in and it'll get a little easier to pose. Oh, the head. I'm so sorry. I forgot about the head unit. So there isn't much range when it comes to the head unit. Like he does look down that far. Looking up, almost non-existent really. Like it's no real looking up. And that's being stopped by this piece here. Right there. But his head does do a full 360. Be careful with the antennas. His head does do a full 360. So there's that, at least. But if you're expecting to get this guy to look up like he's about to stop something coming in from above him, that's not happening. But as far as articulation for what this figure is, it's not bad. Because the tolerances on the die-cast metal joints are always been pretty tight for me with these figures, but still pretty good. So the next thing that I want to do for this articulation piece is, in this accessory, we're going to do things a little bit different because there's so much with this freaking figure, is I'm going to add on the wings. And this does articulate down, and it's actually like the little fighter jet, well, the co-pilot piece. However they call this thing, my apologies. This is an accessory attachment that you push downwards like so. Sorry, this slides. Let me start over here. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me show you guys how this works. So you start with this piece. This slides down like so. You lift up, and then the ship itself falls flat on the piece here. Oh, no, it doesn't. It just goes flat like this. I'm sorry. And then this piece attaches into the back of the Burning Gundam. Let me focus my camera. There we go. Like so. Scoot them back a little bit. There we go. And now we have the Burning Gundam's wings attached to the Gundam. And the wings do articulate. Yes, these are fully articulatable. So they do come out. Let me make this guy a little even. The wings do come in that far, as you guys can see, and then they come in just a tad because they're on hinges. And let's say you're about to do the burning attack. I might have to scoot my camera back a little bit so you guys can have this full thing in the camera. But yeah, they open up completely. Fix their stance here. There we go. Sorry if it's looking all janky on camera, but let me scoot them back just a tad. There we go. His wings are freaking huge. It's hard for me to get this guy in the camera. But there you go. Yeah, the middle piece has full articulative range. Goes up and down. Same thing with the bottom wings. And at the top here. And you can rest it back down like so. And here's... Be right back. As I was saying... Another cool piece, because this is technically 2 Gundams in one. You remove the pack here. Ease this out. Oh, what's in there? Come out of there. There we go. Yeah, ease this out. And you're going to simply detach the wings. Like so. Just pull them apart. And now you can attach the second Gundam's wings. Like so. Doesn't seem to be a left and right. It just seems like you can kind of put this thing however you like, really. It all functions the same. But yeah, the wings can still come in and out like though. Open them up for you. There you go. There's the God Gundam wings. And then same thing. We're going to ease this down. And then put it into the God Gundam. There we go. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, he's looking all janky. Sorry about that. Yeah, isn't that pretty cool, guys? All right. So, enough of the articulation. You know. Now I want to move on to the weapons of this guy because he has a lot of them. Okay, guys, in this next session, I want to go over the weapons that come with this figure. And you're going to be probably blown away about just how integrated the weapon system is for this Gundam. So, I do want to start off, you have your standard beam sabers here. And the hilts, you just simply attach them into the hilts right here by the plastic peg. You get 2 of them. Sorry about that. A little plastic peg here at the end. And you just line it up with the hilts like so. There you go. And of course, when you're done, you can actually store this in his little, in his little holder. And it does have like a little notch where you can, it actually clicks in and holds it in place. And mine's falling out. Ease this in. Let's see here. There we go. And other side. What I think is a cool touch. There we go. Good little holder for it. Okay. Now the cool part. At least I think it's cool. Alright guys, I am back. I just noticed my mic was not on. I guess it randomly turned off, but I've got it turned on now. Hope you guys can hear me pretty good. Sorry if the sound was kind of off there earlier in the video, but as I was saying, the way they integrated the weapon system into this Gundam is actually pretty cool, and I don't think you'll ever believe where it's hidden. I mean, if you know the Gundam from the show, yes, then you're already kind of like, yeah, I know where it's at. But it's in the God Gundam wing system here. So what they've done is you can actually take out this part here, ease it out, and it's all new. This is my first time actually like taking it out and removing it. And what I'm going to show you guys here, this is a weapon. So let me find my attachments here. So if you notice, there's like a little slot cut out here. So what you're going to simply do is line it up. Oh, wait, sorry. You unclip it here, like that. Then you take the beam effect for the axe. Now you have like a little battle axe here. Isn't that freaking cool? And you can do the exact same thing. Let me scoot the camera up here. Sorry about that. So you can do the exact same thing for the other one. So you just simply unfold it from the handle here, from the wing. Comes in, clicks in like that, locks itself in place. It's pretty sturdy too. Pretty sturdy. It's not dangling or anything like that. The other attachment here, I'll show you guys again. There's those two little opening slits there, and simply attach it, line it up, and then click it in. Now the Gundam has two axe weapons here. Isn't that freaking cool, guys? So that's just the first little set of gimmicks here. So if you go to the middle set of wings, open this back up, the middle set, right? So these are actual like nunchuck pieces, staff pieces. You can actually detach these 4 white wing pieces. I'm gonna do it one by one for you guys, like so. And I'm just gonna do the right side, show you. So it comes with this centerpiece, which is pretty much to make like nunchucks. So you can actually stick these guys together. Now, it doesn't matter which way you go. I do like that they're interchangeable like that. Will you peg it? It's pretty cool. So simply, you'll just do this. Show the camera correctly. Let's see here. There we go. It's a little tight. That's one section, right? So you're going to take the other side and slide it in like so. Ease it in because this, is plastic. You don't want to put too much stress in one area and break it. Go like so. I'm not gonna push it in all the way because I do want to get this off later. And again here, ease that in like so. I'm gonna take the other handle here, line it up like so. And the peg can be a little tricky. Just make sure you line it up and ease it in. It's a tight fit, so do be patient. There you go. Freaking, and it is bendable. Look at there. You can make freaking nunchucks. Nunchucks. Look at there. And it's just one set of weapons. Like, you see the wings here? Like this. And then you can make a staff. You can make a freaking staff if you want. You can remove the centerpiece if you don't want to make nunchucks. So again, there's 2. You can make a whole freaking staff. Look at there. Now you got a freaking pole. Now you got a staff pole. So many freaking weapons. I just wanted to show it off there. I was just like, man, that's so cool. I was like, where are the weapons? Because it was being advertised. I was like, oh, it's in the wings, especially when I read the instructions. And then I think there was another Let's see. I want to break this thing. Make sure I'm doing this correctly. There was another weapon. Me 1 second. Let me read the instructions. Okay, so I am back again. So I had to ease this out of the bottom wing here, right here. So this is like the fourth weapon. And you're going to simply take it and then you can turn it around and it opens it up. And now you have like this really nice blade. And there's two. Again, there's, this whole side over here. But it's so cool that they integrated this in here. Like you have so many weapons to play with besides the burning attack. Like that is so amazing. All right. Now that I've shown off the weapons and stuff like that, guys, I'm gonna put this guy back together, and now I'm gonna give you guys my final thoughts, and I'm gonna also throw in a little extra that I haven't even shown yet. So, 1 second, I'll be right back again. Okay, guys, I got this guy set up with his burning. Oof, let me fix that real quick. It looks janky. There we go. A lot better. Yeah, I have this guy set up with his burning attack effect in the back on the base and the stand, and just wanted to show you guys this whole effect piece before I end the video. But this will be my final thoughts as well, pretty much on this guy. A few things I want to touch on is this is your typical clear plastic. Do be careful when you're moving this around and you're setting up your display. Another thing I want to touch on too is the peg point that connects to the Gundam up here. So I read that there was an issue from Bandai of people breaking, give me the peg right here. So if you do, are you going to, or if you are going to use this base and stand for this effect piece here, the best thing to do to remove it is, of course, remove the backpack so you can give yourself easy access to it. And instead of pulling it out, which most people have been doing, and then end up breaking the plastic piece here and there, you're gonna pretty much get a good firm hold onto the clear plastic part here that goes in, that pegs into the Gundam, and you're gonna move it very slightly up and down, like so, like that, and then ease it out. You don't want to go back and forth like that because you was putting stress on the little tiny peg, and I'll show that too before I end this video what I'm talking about. But this figure is already quite expensive, a little bit hard to get right now because of the tariffs and things right now. But on to my final thoughts. Just want to touch on that real quick. So this figure, paint application, the details, and articulation with this figure are amazing. This will probably, and it more than likely won't be the last figure, but in my opinion, this is a solid 10 out of 10 figure right here. You get a lot of accessories for this figure compared to the price, and the price is up there, but this is what you'd expect from a metal build line in Bandai for the Gundam series. Again, I paid about $465. You get multiple weapons. You pretty much have two Gundams in one because of the way they integrated the weapon system and the wings. You have the effect pieces. Just the overall build quality of this figure too is phenomenal. Although my joints are a little tight, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. That can be worked out a little later once I actually start, using this figure. Um, Another thing is not only, like I said, the paint, but just the die cast metal that's used with this is really good. There's some weight to this figure. Don't even. Let me say this. Let me get my words out here. I'm not even going to sit here in front like this is a cheap figure or anything like that. This is a what you expect a premium Bandai figure to be. What you're paying for. The premium application of paint, the details. This is again like a Gundam. It's taken directly out of the anime, and here we are. The look and feel of this thing is amazing. It feels like a genuine Gundam. Like this thing could power on and start kicking around my living room and just start doing kind of crazy stuff. It's amazing. If you're able to get this guy in your collection as well for a reasonable price that's in your budget, I say go for this guy. It comes with a base. Again, it comes with a stand piece that you can set him up and do all your little poses and things like that with him. Comes with a crap ton of accessories once again. Even if you break the antenna, it comes with a second set. And then you have again the wings. Again, there's so many accessories for this guy. It's just you can't compete with this right now. I'm sure they're going to come out with another Gundam that's probably going to maybe supersede what this is, but this is one of the best figures out of my collection right now, and it's not even Dragon Ball. And I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan, but I'm also a Gundam fan. I'm pretty much an anime fan in general, but I do have my my lines that I usually draw to the most. But I got to give credit where credit's due. Solid 10 out of 10. The price, build quality, paint application and details, and how close it relates to the anime that it came from. All top notch. All top notch here. Not disappointed whatsoever. I was highly anticipating this pre-order for months, and I was not let down on what I got. But that pretty much ends the video here. You guys feel free to comment and let me know what figure you think you might want me to review that I might not have in my collection. And if I have it, I'll easily review it for you. And if I don't have it, then I'll try to attain it and do a review for you guys, an honest review. But until then, be sure to like the video as it helps with the algorithm with YouTube is a bit wanky. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on my content. I'm still trying to get better at this. Excuse the train. Let me just do a train. But anyhow, you guys take care. Until the next time.